Hey there, true believers. Welcome to another episode of the Entertainment Buddha Tubecast, where we make you a better geek one post at a time. And after San Diego Comic-Con, we're all going to be slowly digesting these new bits and pieces of trailers over 1,000 years, because there were a lot. But before we get to anything, any foods for thought, whatever. Let's go around the table and see who's joining us for this particular Tubecast. First off, there's Anna joining us from Florida.
Heyo.
Is it hot in there?
Very. It's disgustingly humid. It'll be that way until like October, or maybe even November.
Yeah, I'm feeling that now because I just moved and the AC units weren't installed and it's really muggy and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm already tired.
Yeah.
And speaking of muggy, also joining us is my co-pilot for the Puntcast, Mr. Nick Hershey, not in Florida.
Not in Florida, but still muggy.
Not in Florida. If you were on Dagobah, you could say that you have a worse situation than Anna, and you could say that she's just being a wimp.
Is that the one that has two sons?
No, that's Tatooine.
Oh, that's yeah. You're right. Dagobah's the
completely
the
different.
Swamp,
Completely different.
The swamplands of Yoda.
One is a
correct?
muggy swamp. The other is a dry, airy desert. You couldn't have been more opposite.
And
I'm just testing your Star Wars knowledge.
You failed.
I know.
Well, it's because there wasn't a new Star Wars trailer at San Diego Comic-Con. Because at San Diego Comic-Con, there was like trailers for everything.
Right.
There was.
So let's briefly review. There was a few for the DC entertainment properties, like Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. There was one for Suicide Squad, which was sort of our first official look at this team of bad guys.
Wait, you mean all
up.
the leaked screenshots and like on-set footage was not the first look?
I know, and it's like we've already seen half the movie.
I'm surprised
now we
that
see
there
like
was
the actual movie.
Right, that there was anything left to see.
But now with the trailer, we got to hear Jared Leto's Joker laugh. We didn't get to hear that before.
And then we also got to hear Will Smith say, "I guess we're some sort of Suicide Squad."
And let's go save the Earth.
He should have ended it with "Welcome to Earth."
Maybe they will.
Yeah, they're just saving that.
Maybe they will.
Back pocket. So there was that. There was jumping over to the other side of the big two. Marvel had Deadpool, and also they had X-Men Apocalypse.
Yes. And Deadpool, just based on the trailer, it's got to be rated R.
It is.
Okay. Is that official?
Yeah, I've seen places they're making it rated R.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So I guess of the big two comic properties, of those four, largely, we've seen bits and pieces of Batman v Superman before. The others, though, this is sort of our first foray. Which ones are the ones you are the most excited for?
I think the one I'm most excited for is probably Batman vs Superman. I think the whole story and plot behind it is intriguing. I wasn't psyched on it to be, when the first trailer came out, which I think most people were probably in the same boat. But then this new trailer kind of gives a little bit more of a background as to why they're fighting against each other.
Yeah, but the problem with the first trailer is we don't understand. I mean, it's more... The first trailer seems like everybody is against Superman just because they... it's sort of the xenophobic thing. Yeah. But this one, it's more... We understand that Bruce Wayne has a stake in all of this. That right. He's kind of mad. And then, Lex Luthor is just sort of afraid of the whole invasion kind of thing.
Right. But I don't know. That first trailer, there was a lot of question to it. Like nobody seemed excited for it. And then the new one came out, and it kind of like gave people, like Keith wrote about on the website, it gave a little bit different perspective for fans.
I wonder. I mean, and I don't know where I read this, but I know they've, with Superman specifically, it's always been hard to, translate comic book to film. Because, it's sometimes it's like you don't know which route you want to go with him. Do you want to take just the more like superhero aspect of it, or do you want to go the more human route? You know, like which side do you want to explore? And I don't know. I mean, I'm still kind of on the fence about this. And I mean, and even with Batman, it's like what route are they going to take with him? Is this all purely based on just like a human side, just like the emotions of it, or is it really going to be more of like the whole superhero aspect of it? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've just kind of been questioning it a lot, just because, you know, little kids look up to these guys, but sometimes when you look at like the deeper backstory of it, they're not as, like, I don't know. I guess sometimes they shouldn't be viewed as role models, or little kids shouldn't really look up to them, if that makes any sense.
Well, the Zack Snyder Superman's kind of a weird interpretation, but in terms of film, as you were saying, I mean, the Christopher Reeve Superman was more a showcase of the superhero side, because it was more like a showcase of film techniques.
Yeah.
Showing a guy who can fly and lift all these heavy things and do all these superhuman feats. And now that's not really, I mean, we're not really, as an audience, we're not really wowed by a lot of these CGI effects anymore, just because they're sort of old hat, especially in superhero films. So that he kind of has to take a different route. And so it's more of Superman proving that he's worthy of, you know, wearing this emblem that everybody should think he's the greatest hero. And I think for Batman in this one, it's more of, I mean, there's a lot of backstory that we don't necessarily get a lot of in this Batman v Superman, only because it's a new movie universe version.
Right.
But I mean, he's had one of his Robins murdered by the Joker, which leads, you know, part of Suicide Squad. But it seems like in this one, Batman is more, he doesn't want to lose anything else.
Right.
He's already lost a Robin. He's already lost other things during his original run as the Cape Crusader, and now he doesn't want to see more damage done, you know, in this case to Wayne Industries and the rest of his planet.
And I'll be honest, I mean, I have followed nothing of the movie other than just whatever teasers have come out and the trailers that have come out. So I don't even know what plot is even being followed for this. So I don't know. I mean, are they going that route, that he's already lost one of the Robins? Is that?
Well, that's what I think. In the new trailer, there's the one scene where Batman walks by the I guess it's a Robin suit, right, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
And that's supposedly after, I don't know which. Do you know the name of the Robin?
I think they're using Jason Todd for this, who's the one that Joker actually killed way back in sometime in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you said, he lost the Robin in this one, and I was curious too as to where Zack Snyder was going. I recently read Frank Miller's version of which is it, Dark Knight,
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knight Returns, or one of those. But you know, where Batman and Superman face off. You know, basically Superman is working for the government, and the government's trying to shut down Batman's vigilantism, so to speak. So, I mean, like I said, I have no idea if that's what they're going for in the movie, but you know, it's a little bit of an older Batman.
It
seems.
In that run, is Batman older? Is Bruce Wayne older? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that story, he's been retired for quite some time, and then Gotham City kind of gets run over by these young youths, and then he comes out of retirement to take care of, you know, all the crime and corruption that goes on, and then as Nick said, it kind of turns into a battle of Batman versus Superman because the government sort of coerces Superman into taking care of Batman. But then the weird thing with it, I mean, it's hard. I understand what you mean because it's hard to get a grasp as to what this movie is really going to be about, because at the beginning they say Batman v Superman, and we say, oh, it's going to be Dark Knight Returns because that's kind of the crux of the whole thing. But then you get Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which she's finally in the trailer. Right. You have like all these supporting characters from like the Justice League. You have apparently Cyborg is going to be in it for a little. Aquaman's going to be in it for a little. You have the girl from Hunger Games, Jenna Malone, is in an unspecified role. And the second she was cast, we all thought she was going to be the female Robin from Dark Knight Returns, but we don't know that yet. So I get exactly what you're saying. We don't really know what this movie's going to be. It's mostly, it just seems like a showcase of powers, which will just lead into sort of the Justice League.
Right. I mean, and I know, I mean, and everyone keeps comparing it to like, oh, what Marvel's doing and this and this and that and that. But it's like, I don't know. To me, it's just like two different entities, and you can't really compare one to the other. And it'll be interesting to see how the setup for Justice League works. Like, how much screen time are these characters really going to get? Is it really just going to be like a Aquaman swoops in, helps to save the day, and then goodbye? It'll just be interesting to see.
I'll ride my seahorse into the sunset. He does have horse riding skills from Game of Thrones. Yeah. From the Dothraki to the King of the Seas, I guess.
That's true.
It makes sense. Yeah. You know what also makes sense? Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. How'd you guys feel about Suicide Squad?
I don't know.
I got that feeling too.
I mean...
Yeah. I was excited for the film, and then I saw the trailer, and I was kind of like, eh. Like, and I think a lot of it, like, I'm not sold on Will Smith as Deadshot.
I mean, I know I'm still gonna see it, but I'm gonna see it because I know I want to see Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker. And I mean, he's a good actor. I mean, you know, he's got an Oscar, but it'll just be, I guess it'll be cool to see what his take is, because, you know, everyone always wants to say, like, you know, Heath Ledger's Joker was the best, but given the context of the Dark Knight Returns or Dark Knight, I can't even get the titles right anymore. I mean, it's just a different context. I mean, it's a far darker movie for the time than like Batman from '89, where Jack Nicholson as the Joker was still kind of scary but very whimsical at the same time. So,
but I love his Joker. It was so good. Like,
do you guys think that if Heath Ledger hadn't passed away, his part as a Joker would be as revered as it is? Like, do you think? I feel like that has added some sense. Like, yeah, he put everything he had into this part to the point where like it,
literally destroyed him.
But if it didn't, would we be having a conversation of like comparing everyone else's Joker to his Joker?
I mean,
I think.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good. It was great, but you know, and like Anna said, for the darker Batman film that it was really, really good. But I don't know. That was just something I was always curious about, was if he were still alive.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
how would people feel towards his Joker?
There's a completely different conversation that could be had of, you know, dead celebrities and, you know, how good are they, like, living versus dead. I mean, yeah, like, are dead actors and musicians, you know, just celebrities as a whole, are they put on a pedestal because, you know, they're not here anymore? And it's like, oh my god, but if they were here, and then you think of all these things, and it's like, Yeah. I mean,
I've had a similar conversation with friends about Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, so that's just what.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I thought about.
It's one of those things where, was it great? Was it like, did he do a good job? Of course, yeah. I mean, he did. I mean, but I don't think people would be. I mean, my opinion is I don't think people would be as crazy about it because he would have gone on to do other things, and there could have been other things to say. Well, yeah, he was good in The Dark Knight, but wow, he was really good in this other thing he would have done.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I feel. He probably would have gone on to do something else that would have supplanted Dark Knight as being sort of his, like his top performance or something.
Yeah. I mean, and of course, with something like that, I mean, isn't that like hitting like the peak of your career? Like, where do you go from there? I mean, it's like when every actor or musician wins an Oscar, or they get a Grammy, or if you're on Broadway you get a Tony. It's like, all right, you're like the best of the best, you've got an award to prove that you're the best. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, but Kramer has a Tony, so
right.
I think
until Raquel Welch destroyed it.
Right. I think my problem with Suicide Squad is I don't feel like I'm invested. I don't care. Like Jared Leto's Joker, I just want to see it. Harley Quinn, I just want to see an on-screen interpretation. But like Will Smith's Deadshot, I and all the others, I just don't know that I care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I've been reading the new Suicide Squad comic, and I love the idea of it. I love how you take bad guys and make them do the government's dirty work. And I mean, for those who don't know, basically Suicide Squad is a nickname for Task Force X, where the government literally plants bombs into these people to control them. And if they screw up or go off the grid or whatever, they just detonate the bomb, and that's it. So that's like how they get them to do these, dirty jobs that, the government doesn't want to do. So it's an intriguing, plot story, but yeah, I'm just not sold on Will Smith as like an anti-hero kind of guy.
Well, he kind of did that in Hancock, where he was, an off-putting superhero.
Yeah, but I mean, he ultimately at the end of the movie became a superhero, so it's...
Well, that movie kind of got weird, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the whole, what was it, like, godlike thing?
Star-crossed lovers kind of thing, where they always end up together.
Yeah, that was...
That's when you
blame the
I'm with you,
marketing department, because sometimes you see these trailers, or you see how they're like presenting the movies, and sometimes they get it all wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean, Suicide Squad could be just that, but I mean, even watching the trailer, they have that kind of not eerie music, but like it's got to be some like a group of children singing an opera song or something, and it's like super slow motion shots and focusing on like key players, and like you could have given me a little more than that. I mean, we've already seen tons of pictures of what these characters look like. You could have given me just a little bit more for me to feel like
yeah, but then we got the whole movie.
Right.
You want to know something interesting about the song in the trailer, Anna? It's a Bee Gees song.
Which one?
The I Started a Joke.
Oh, I've never heard
I only recognize it because the Wallflowers covered it, so I recognize that, but I knew the Wallflowers weren't the original group that sang it. So I just looked it up, and it's a song by the Bee Gees from 1968.
What song is it?
It's called I Started a Joke. And it's like, yeah. Like I said, I only know it from listening to the Wallflowers, but I didn't know until now that it was a Bee Gees song.
That's
but
funny.
So
like jokes on
and obviously
us?
the version of the trailer is a little more dark and ominous, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's just even with the trailer, it just feels like I'm looking at a trailer for just about every other movie that has been released.
Well, how do you feel
Yeah.
about the whole trailers versus like leaked footage stuff? Like how much do you want to know or care to know before you go in?
Well, my thing is that how much of this is actual leaked footage? Like, how do we not know that they do not have, like, you know, someone there from the studio or someone on set that they go, take out your phone, start filming, or go over here and start taking pictures, send them to this email, and then miraculously they make their way online. And it's like, isn't this what you pay focus groups for? To watch, you know, whatever raw footage you have, get the opinions, and then go back and change whatever? I don't know.
No, but you're getting to what my whole theory is, and Keith and I were talking about this the other day, is that I think that now with social media, the idea is that these leaks are planned, and then you get sort of a nationwide reaction.
Right.
When they release the Jared Leto Joker pictures, they get a nationwide test group as to, you know, how people are going to feel about his his silver crowns and all of his tattoos and stuff. And
I mean, but then it's like I don't know, then it just kind of defeats the purpose of whatever movie or version that you're trying to make, because if you're going to be easily influenced by the reaction of fanboys, then why even go in whatever direction they were going to go in? I don't know. It's like I'm torn, because it's kind of like respect the people making it versus the fans who are like, I want it like this, I want my Joker to look like this, or Harley Quinn should look like this. And I don't know, that's just my take on it. I think a majority of the time these things are planned, and it's annoying, because it gives me zero incentive to want to go spend money when the movie comes out.
Yeah, I've often thought about that too, like how, especially like Justin, like you said, in today's day and age with social media, it's so easy for stuff to get out. Everybody's got a camera on their phone to snap a picture, take a video. But I mean, it's like a focus group, just bigger. They get more response. They're like, okay, instead of 20 people in a room, they get hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people responding to it. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I mean, with doing all these movie posts and everything, that we do for the web for Entertainment Buddha, it's become tougher for me to go into a film, fresh, with no, and there hasn't really been too many films in the last year and a half or so that I want to know like nothing about going into. I always at least watch a trailer or get some insight from the actors, because that stuff interests me. Like, I want to know what the actors thought of making the film. I want to know what the director was going for. So I do read that stuff, and I don't think it's really negatively affected me too much in my my joy of watching movies. But
no, but then there are instances like Terminator Genesis where they give away the freaking plot twist to the movie in the trailer.
Yeah, that was just dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see the movie, so I don't know if there was another curveball after that, but I assume that was the big twist.
That's what I thought too. When they revealed that twist with John Connor, like, I immediately thought, okay, yeah, that's a twist for a trailer, but that's not the twist in the film.
Did any of you see it?
Because I did not.
Seen it either.
All right, so we don't have anyone to confirm. But the other thing too is, like, I thought instantly thought that was just would be a minor twist in the film, or it was like a scene from someone's dream, and you just don't know it's a dream in the trailer, which is kind of like a cop out for the film itself. But because that's happened before, where you see something in a trailer and then you watch the movie and you're like, that was completely minor.
In Age of Ultron, when they were doing the trailer and you see Captain America's broken shield and you see Thor's hammer just like laying on the ground, and then you go and you watch the movie,
exactly,
and it's part of Tony Stark's crazy, Scarlet Witch induced vision.
Right.
I was like, oh, thank you,
Right.
Jesus, because I was not ready to see them go right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's right. That's those are the things that when I see something that looks like a major plot point, that's the stuff that goes through my head. But yeah.
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 No, Anna was supposed to say yeah that time. There we go. Now I'm drawing.
Sorry.
Damn.
Speaking of on the trolley, we saw the first trailer for Deadpool, but it's going to. I mean, I know I've seen that it's going to be rated R. How do you guys feel about a rated R superhero movie? Because this is still in the realm of superhero movies.
But why not? I mean, everyone knows that Deadpool is. Well, most people know that Deadpool is just like super crazy. I mean, he's funny, but he's offensive. He's way out there. I mean, he does crazy shit. So why not have an R-rated Marvel movie? What's the big deal?
I don't disagree. I think it's fine because you're right. It's true to the character.
Exactly.
I think what they're concerned about is just the bottom line. Is they're concerned that it's not going to pull in as many tickets.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm for it. Like Anna said, and like you said, Justin. Like that is Deadpool. I mean, they call him the Merc with a mouth for a reason. Like that's him. So like I'm actually excited that there's an R-rated superhero movie. But like I see your point too is like, okay, well, how's that going to affect kids under 17 or whatever, in theaters. But
then it's why and of course this is always like one of those like parents should always, I mean, if you're under 17, like why would your parents be okay with you reading Deadpool or watching,
right.
It's just one of those things where it's like, really, parents? Like,
and I'd be curious to know what the demographic is, like comic book wise for Deadpool fans. Like I can't imagine there's too many, minors who are reading Deadpool.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, that's kind of out of their wheelhouse.
I mean,
because he was really popular, like, what was it? Early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. He was kind of, his star started rising.
With like mature video games, that if you're if you're younger than 18, you need an adult with you to buy the game. Has there ever been anything like that for comic books, or is it just kind of like whoever goes and gets them, like no big deal?
No, there's a rating. I mean, for years and years and years, they had the thing called the Comics Code, which was essentially you couldn't publish a comic that had certain things in it. So everything was kind of general, all ages anyway. But then, especially Marvel started in the early 2000s, they started sort of an adult line. So now you'll notice whenever you read a comic book, it might have like a T or an M mature rating on the front. Not all of them do, but some of them do. Trying to think of ones off the top of my head. I can't think of any, but I know they do.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any. At least I haven't noticed when I picked mine up. But
I always wondered that.
But it's kind of a big step for Marvel because everything to this point has been.
Well, I mean, this is Fox,
PG-13.
though. This is
What's that?
This is Fox. This is not the Marvel Studios.
Sorry, you're right.
But I mean, this is probably their gambit, gambit to give themselves a marquee character, which is weird because I feel like again with Deadpool, it's going to be one of those things where everybody who knows Deadpool is going to be super jazzed for this movie, but everybody who doesn't know Deadpool is going to have no idea who he is.
It's kind of like Ant-Man.
Right.
Yeah, but Marvel's built up the ability to go to their back catalog and drag out anybody, and people are going to be pretty sure that the movie's going to be okay.
Well,
like Guardians of the Galaxy.
But keep in mind too, like when Marvel first started this with Iron Man, how many people outside of the comic book world knew Iron Man?
Well, cared about Iron Man, definitely. Nobody really cared.
Yeah, right. Like you have your Superman and your Batman movies, and then
your Howard the Duck movies.
And then we had our Spider-Man. But when Iron Man came out, people were like, "Really, Iron Man? Like Robert Downey Jr.? How? Like that's not gonna work." And it's obviously done fantastic, like way better than I'm sure anyone expected. So it's one of those things where it's like people who aren't into comic books or, like I said, aren't familiar with Deadpool, at least they're familiar with Ryan Reynolds, and they see the trailer and they realize, oh, Ryan Reynolds is acting like probably how Ryan Reynolds acts in real life, but he's got a superhero costume on,
just like in Wolverine Origins.
Exactly. Except he didn't really talk too much. Well, no, Origins he did, I guess, didn't he?
Yeah, he did before he got put under the Weapon X stuff.
Yeah.
Or
did you like that movie?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't too big of a fan of that.
Neither was I. I just think it's funny that when people are like, "Oh my god, it was so good," I'm like, "What was good about it?" Please. Because I
think the guy from Black Eyed Peas did a great job at
really. Yeah.
But I mean, going back to Deadpool, like I'm looking forward to it. I've gotten into the Deadpool comics a little bit, but not with both feet. I haven't jumped in with both feet, but I'm looking forward to just the one.
He's very cautious.
Tested the water with the toes.
He's got one foot like on the first step, and the other one's just
no cannonballs on this one. Just a jackknife maybe, but yeah, like I said, I'm excited for an R-rated superhero movie. I like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I hope he can kind of turn his superhero, the stigma that surrounds him, around with this. And I also like that we got to see Colossus in the trailer too. I thought that was pretty neat too. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Little different take on the anti-hero compared to all these superheroes we've been.
Do you ever feel at times like maybe we're getting too many superhero movies? Like if you go,
I mean, you look at Marvel's slate over the next few years. You got Black Panther, Doctor Strange. I mean, you got all these that don't seem overly important in Marvel's, mainstream realm, but
they're gonna get pushed. I mean, mean, with the whole publicity, especially with Marvel, as soon as the movie's around the corner, they'll get a big push. But,
right.
I mean, as far as like you're right, it's the long-standing publication history. I mean, Doctor Strange is sort of a minor character. Black Panther's been a minor character. Captain Marvel is, until recently has been a pretty minor character.
Right. But I was talking movies with friends who like superhero movies but aren't into comic books, and I forget that they don't know who Doctor Strange is. They don't know who Black Panther is, and they're like, wait, they're like, who's Doctor Strange and why is he getting a movie? And I was like, oh, well, because he plays a bigger part later on, when it gets the Infinity Gauntlets and all that stuff. But so yeah, it's kind of crazy looking at Marvel's slate over the next few years as to how many superhero movies they're making.
Do you feel like if you go to watch a non-superhero movie, do you feel like you get bored because you've been seeing so many superhero movies?
No. When I watched Age of Ultron, I felt bored through that movie.
Okay.
For a pretty good part of it. And Justin, I know we talked about it a little bit, but the first Avengers movie was around the same length as Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
The difference being Age of Ultron, we had already seen them all fight together in the first Avengers film.
Right.
So the first Avengers film felt more action-packed because they came together as a team. Age of Ultron was like, all right, they're already a team and they're fighting, James Spader's robot. Yeah. Like, it just felt long. So like I kind of got a little bored during Age of Ultron. I don't really get bored when I watch other movies just because it is different. And it's kind of, it kind of helps keep things a little mixed up for me.
Like Green Street Hooligans.
Exactly. Or Pitch Perfect.
Aka awesome.
What?
I'll admit
I always wonder.
I think that movie's hilarious.
It is really funny. I think
when that came out, I refused to watch it because I was like, this is just a stupid chick movie. And I was on vacation and someone had it on TV, and I watched a couple scenes, and I was laughing, and it's hilarious.
My go-to line in that movie is like whenever someone's saying, like, telling me goodbye or like they're leaving for the day or something, I'm always like, make good choices. Always.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I always, like, getting back to that, I always wondered, how, people always felt about how many superhero movies there are, because sometimes, you can get a little overstimulated with the action and all the fantasy and stuff, and then when you try to go and sit down and watch a drama, it's like, well, no one's shooting lasers out of their eyes, and no one's flying, or so it's like boring. So I always wondered people's opinions on that.
Well, speaking of oversaturation of superhero movies, how do you feel about another X-Men movie, which was the other big reveal that we had from San Diego, a new trailer? Do you feel like you've gotten kind of bored of this new crop of X-Men characters that we first saw in First Class, and then Days of Future Past, right?
Yeah, that was the last one.
No, I think because what they've done with X-Men now it's been cool. I don't know, I like the idea of like the present day X-Men, and then going back and seeing them before they became who they are now. So getting more of that backstory versus just little bits and pieces of whatever happened. Well, I like it. I'm excited.
Yeah. You're just excited for Channing Tatum.
Oh, God, no. I'm sorry. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's great to look at. And, I mean, Hollywood has made it very clear that, he can pretty much sell anything. But that's all he can do. He can just sell anything. He can't act.
He was funny in Jump Street.
Well, yeah. He was good in 21 Jump Street, but he really can't act. I'm sorry. So.
Well, isn't Gambit getting its own film?
Mm-hmm. And
because he's gonna be in Apocalypse. Yeah. Somewhat.
And apparently he is gonna be sporting that Cajun accent, and I just hope it works well for him. I don't.
It's like molasses coming out of your mouth.
I don't know. I mean,
No, that's Georgia. That's Georgia. Come on.
Wrong part.
I don't know.
You have to watch American Horror Story Coven for all the French Quarter accents.
Oh. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't.
And then you watch the circus one for Kathy Bates's Baltimore accent.
Balmer.
Which for a second I was pretty sure it was Pittsburgh, but she did a lot of things that weren't Pittsburgh. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, off topic.
I don't know. I'm excited to see it.
Is there a superhero movie, if you had to make your own, is there one left that they haven't done that would make you super excited? Or have they kind of gone through all the iterations?
I think they kind of have gone through all the iterations. I mean, Spider-Man is just like my all-time favorite character, but I think at this point he's just been beaten and pulverized, and like I don't think there's
rebooted and rebooted.
I feel like there's anything left.
I don't even care about this new movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. It's like, who's he gonna fight?
Right.
I mean, Marissa Tomei's in it, so
I really
I don't get that choice.
I don't know. I just don't know what they're trying to do with that, and I just feel like just respect the spider. Just let it go. Just stop.
I feel like they're trying to find the right guy to be a long-running Spider-Man. Like Tobey Maguire did three movies. At first, people were like, "Oh wow, like he's kind of good," and then as the movies aged, we're like, "All right, they're kind of terrible." And then James Garfield came along, and the first one was
Andrew Garfield.
Sorry,
James Garfield, our former
yeah, the
United
president.
States president.
Yeah, Garfield the cat, whichever.
Rawr, I don't know what I hate more, Green Goblin or Mondays. Rawr.
No, Nermal's coming to visit.
I need my lasagna.
No, there's a reboot.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Andrew Garfield, like the first one that he was in, I enjoyed it. It was a bit like, he was a bit more of a punk than Tobey Maguire. He wasn't so nerdy. He was still sort of an outcast. But, you know, obviously it didn't work with him because they're already rebooting after he was in, what, 2 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like they're just trying to find their, like, Marvel found Robert Downey, you know, they looked out with Robert Downey Jr. right away. He's been a fantastic Iron Man throughout, you know, all these movies. You know, Sony or Fox or Marvel, whoever has the rights to Spider-Man now is looking for their version
But you see,
of that.
that's the problem that Hollywood gets wrong. You can't, if something works, something works. You can't duplicate that. And
Right.
trying to...
I'm not saying they're right in what they're doing. I'm just saying that's my theory
right. But it's just like when, you know, people in those positions think that they can go ahead and recreate something that is already, you know, taken off. Like that's where you run into that problem, because you can't just say, okay, this person with that person and all of this is you're gonna get an exact replica of that. It just doesn't happen. And I feel like the more that when it comes to Spider-Man, the more that they understand that, the more that they get that, they can probably make a better Spider-Man. But it's not gonna happen if you're gonna give me another origin story. Like I'm just gonna be like, really? Come on. How many origin stories have we seen already when it comes to Spider-Man? Like, really?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense, and it's just interesting to see Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. Is that like,
yeah.
like her biological clock is ticking? Come on. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
You got any more shit you want to lay on me besides your biological clock? That was Marissa Tomei too.
Yeah.
Yeah. She won an Emmy or Academy Award for that.
Did she really?
For Best Supporting Actress for My Cousin Vinny. She certainly did. George's you know, superstar hopeful that he almost got with in Seinfeld.
So
I mean, I guess maybe going back to the Spider-Man thing, it could be too, since who was it? Sony basically gave it to Marvel. They're looking for kind of like a fresh start so they can jump in with their current phases. And I guess they didn't want to do it with Andrew Garfield in the 2 movies that he already had out. But I don't know. I hope they don't keep rebooting Spider-Man every, you know, 8 or 10 years or whatever it is.
Because it was, what was it? Spider-Man 3 was supposed to come out in 2017, and then they were gonna have Sinister 6 come out, but then Spider-Man 3 was canceled because Spider-Man 2 kind of introduced some of those characters. But now, is there even a Sinister 6 movie coming out? Like, is that even still a thing?
I don't think so. I think they sort of put it into hiatus, but I don't remember if they actually officially canceled it. That wouldn't have been any good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's still a possibility, but it's not booked. It's not scheduled for anything yet.
No, that would have been bad. Yeah. I mean, is there like a comic book movie that you would put as like the worst? The worst comic book adaptation.
Oh.
And that's kind of a hard question because there's a lot of movies that we have to remember are comic book
honestly,
adaptations, like Judge Dredd, Spawn.
I mean,
Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I think
Ninja Turtles.
Anything pre
Blade.
Iron Man to me is garbage. With the exception of like Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is good.
I hated Daredevil.
Oh yeah, Daredevil was absolutely like ugh.
I forget when that came out, but I was not a fan of. And I had this discussion with Keith, and he blames it more so on the script rather than Ben Affleck as a superhero. Whereas when Ben Affleck was announced as Batman, I was like, did they not see Daredevil? Like, how are they giving him Batman? But I mean, it could have been the script.
I mean, it could have been the script. It could have been casting him, because at the time, I think he was also one of the like who's in Hollywood at the time. And normally the trend is whoever like the top actor actress is, let's go ahead and put them in just about everything that's gonna come out, and
whether they're fit for it or not.
Right. So and Jennifer Garner as Elektra, like, come on, you couldn't have found just a slightly more you couldn't have found an exotic actress to play that part. Like, it had to be Jennifer Garner. I don't know.
It was in Ben Affleck's contract
to work with a Jennifer that he was gonna be in a relationship with and marry, and then both marriages fail. Sorry, too soon. Yeah. I don't know. It's just dumb. Yeah. Like, a majority of the casting choices that they had for some of those movies were just stupid. I mean, Jessica Alba in Fantastic Four, like, really?
Yeah,
that was a strictly eye candy kind of situation.
That was bad. And then what was his name as Dr. Doom from Nip Tuck? I'm like, just because he's like good on a show playing an asshole doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be good playing a comic book villain. Two completely different kinds of characters, but
yeah, like Galactus as a cloud versus Galactus as an actual character, two completely different things.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a weather pattern.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. It just,
if you want to see something terrible, you need to find this is going to go down the rabbit hole, but anyway, when Marvel sold off all of their movie rights, in order for whoever had the rights to Fantastic Four, in order for them to keep it, they had to make a movie in like 95. And they did, but then they paid like $1 million to never release it because it was so god awful. But you can find it on like YouTube and stuff.
what is it?
And it's like it's the guy from the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes as the Human Torch, and like a bunch of other nobodies. And the thing is so ridiculous. I watched it for like 8 minutes, and once they turned into the Fantastic Four, and then Ben Grimm walks out and he's the Thing, and he starts talking. It's like a puppet. I no. Like, they paid to have it not come out.
That's
wow.
That's bad. I mean, I wish I had that kind of money to like make something and just be like, nah.
Wow, I pulled up the images.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wow, it looks like it's from like the 70s, not 1994.
It looks like a made-for-TV movie.
Ben Grimm looks like Groot, kinda.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's, oh man, I'm gonna have to try.
You need to just watch
online.
like 5 minutes.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube.
Do you know the name of it?
I think it's just called the Fantastic Four.
I just searched Fantastic Four never released, and it was from like 1994.
Oh yeah, here it is, Fantastic Four.
It's
94.
It's terrible.
Wow, those suits.
Ooh.
Well, speaking of Fantastic Four, did you guys see the new trailer? It wasn't a Comic-Con special, but they did release a new trailer, the final trailer. Did you guys take a look at that?
I haven't. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it.
But you'll go see it, right?
I mean, I like Miles Teller. I like Jamie Bell. I don't particularly care for the chick and the guy playing
Kate Mara and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for those two, but I like the other two as actors. And if I like, the actors enough, sometimes I will go and see the movie. But I don't know. It's just like another dark interpretation on a comic book.
Yeah, I was never a huge fan of Fantastic Four.
Nobody is.
Oh, true. Like when I saw the first one, I was like entertained, but then I saw other superhero movies that were better, and thereby changing my opinion of the original Fantastic Four. But this one intrigues me. I'd be more willing to see this than one of the other ones. So, I like that they're kind of younger. It also gives the new trailer gives a little bit of a backstory on Reed Richards and Ben Grimm as kids, where they're doing science experiments in Richards' garage. Yeah. So you kind of see like early on he's really like into science and space and teleportation and everything. So I think it looks interesting, and the special effects obviously are going to be way better than the last one. And there's even a part in the trailer where it looks like the Thing actually grows. Like, in the other ones he was kind of like a normal, like not normal size, but he stayed the same size the whole time. This one he looks like he's like giant.
Does he ever shift into other things?
Well, that's what I don't know, but that's what it looks like in this trailer, is that like he somehow becomes bigger, and maybe it's just the way it was filmed or it's throwing me off, but it looks like he grows.
Maybe you just got done watching the Ant-Man trailer, so everything looked big.
Right.
Well, that could be. That's very possible.
Yeah.
Just like all the relative size changes just made it look bizarre.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I might see it. I might wait till it's available on video.
Does that come out this weekend?
August.
Yeah, it's August. Yeah.
This weekend's Ant-Man.
August.
Okay.
August 7th, I think, is Fantastic Four.
Okay.
So we'll see how fantastic that is.
So then next year is like the big movie here, because you have what, Captain America. Is it?
Yeah, Suicide Squad,
Batman v Superman,
X-Men Apocalypse, Deadpool.
Thor, is that next year too?
Or is that's gotta be a while.
I think that's 18.
Oh shit.
I think that's 2018.
I don't know. I have to pull up that trusty Marvel schedule again.
Yeah,
that big diagram.
Why isn't that the backdrop on your desktop?
I don't know. I'm slacking as a nerd. Okay, I'm slacking as a geek.
Nah,
right
now. I would just have cats as the background. I saw a shirt today. It was a Batman shirt where it had the Batman symbol, and then where the filled in yellow space was, it was just pictures of cats.
Nice. Did you see it on somebody or at a store?
No, it was a Hot Topic.
And you didn't get it?
Well, I could go back.
Well, Christmas is only a few months away.
Hey, you guys have that cat Batman shirt? Oh, no, he's holding him. Oh, no.
Well, today is Prime Day on Amazon, so maybe you could check on there and see if they have it for a deal.
Did you buy anything?
No. They didn't. I looked through. They didn't have anything that was like really psyched on. They advertised 40-inch LED TV for like $115, but it sold out in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then they flipped it on eBay for like $200, and they were like, "Oh, exactly. I just spent like 5 minutes making $100."
Yeah, but yeah, I was looking through the stuff because I was excited, thinking like, "Oh, I can get maybe some video games or comic books or something," but they didn't really have. Yeah. I was kind of disappointed.
Speaking of buying a lot of stuff, I was at a comic book store today, and he had a San Diego Comic-Con variant of the Rocket Raccoon not amiibo, Funko Pop.
Oh no!
And it was fuzzy. It wasn't like the typical vinyl doll. It was like actually fuzzy.
They have these little plush dolls now that I think they're coming out with, or that they've come out with. Yeah.
Interesting.
I just saw tons of Funkos. I was like, ugh. I don't even. Ugh.
I only have
I only
have like 10 of them, and that's over the span of however many years they've been around. 10. And every time I go and I see them, I'm like, oh, they're so cute. That one's cute. But I only get really distinct ones. Like, there has to be something really different to really encourage me to buy it.
Well, I saw ones for Harry Potter and E.T. I don't know if that's distinct enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, does E.T. have, like, the wrinkles? Or is it just...
I think so. Well, they didn't have that one. That's the one to get if you're getting the E.T. series.
Yeah,
but...
of course. No, I want him dressed up with, like, the Sunday hat, and he's holding the purse.
Oh, that would be good.
That's the one that I want.
That's probably like a Comic-Con variant somewhere,
Yeah.
like New York Comic-Con ET variant. Nah, somewhere Biloxi. There we go. The Biloxi Comic-Con variant.
I have a few of them. I just picked one up last week. I got the Bender from Futurama.
See, that must be a cool.
So it's pretty.
Yeah, that must be a cool looking one.
Does it bobble?
No, it doesn't bobble. But he's got a beer in his hand.
Yeah, there we go.
I guess.
But I kind of get him based on like
Their
nostalgia.
accessories.
Well, no, nostalgia. Like, my first one was Marty McFly and Doc. And then I got the Philly Fanatic. And now I want to get the rest of the baseball mascot ones they have. But, you know.
They have baseball mascot
That's another
ones?
trip.
How?
Yeah, they have like 8 or 10 of them.
See, I didn't know they made other kind of Funkos. That's how, in my bubble, I stay.
There's one of pro football player Richard Sherman. I saw that at my comic book store, but I'm not planning on picking that up. But anyway,
hi, this is your local Funko Pop retailer. Would you like to buy this Richard Sherman Funko? What? We're a comic book store.
You should ask Matt if he wants it.
he probably already has it.
Probably does.
See, he's not even on this cast, and we're still talking about Funko Pops.
Well, let's veer away.
Right.
Let's see. Is there anything else movie like San Diego Comic-Con or big movies that we're not hitting on? I think we hit a lot of the big ones.
Yeah, I know before we started recording we were talking about Star Wars. There was some behind the scenes footage released, but J.J. Abrams said it might be a month or two till the next official trailer comes out. So that was kind of disappointing, but
yeah, but maybe they wanted to just isolate it since that one's coming out in December.
That's one movie that I don't want to know anything about. Like, anything that I've seen that Star Wars is trending, I'm just like staying off Facebook and any social media because I don't want to know a thing about it. I think when they even release some names, I'm like, nope, don't care, don't want to know.
Did you watch the trailer though?
Yeah, the trailer I did see, but when they were announcing more, casting announcements, and I think they had released like the picture of Andy Serkis, and he had the motion capture dots, like he had all of that on him. Like I knew something came out with him in it, and I'm like, I don't want to know about it. And my husband's like, but look at the picture. I'm like, I don't want to see it. You're gonna spoil it for me. He's like, but there's nothing to spoil. Just look. And then when I looked, I was like, oh, that's not so bad. So that's all I know, that he's doing some super awesome motion capture stuff for the movie.
Jar Jar.
No,
Yeah.
no, don't say that.
I was trying to remember how long it's been since I've seen any of the prequels, and I don't know that I've seen any of them more than once.
I think
I haven't seen any.
You haven't seen any of them?
Not the prequels, no. No, when they came out, when we were in high school or middle school or whenever, I didn't see them then, and the people who did see him told me not to see him. So then I've just never seen him in the however many years it's been.
I feel differently about them depending of my stage in life. Like, when I first saw them, I'm like, all right, they're all right, they were cool. And then I think I saw them like a few years later, and I was like, not what I remembered. And then I think I tried to watch them again. I was like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah. I think I'll probably watch them once just to watch them, but I'm not excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's cliff notes out there somewhere.
Well, there's...
I might just go on
Yeah,
Wikipedia and read the plot summary.
No, Topher Grace, he made a fan edit of all three of them into one movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if you can find it, but...
All right. I might have to look that up. To the internet.
Yeah, if only there was some depository of all this information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and speaking on the same Star Wars front, I think it was announced last week or the week before that Obi-Wan's getting a solo movie and Boba Fett Han Solo are getting a film, which apparently is rumored to be discussing or surrounding the origins of Han Solo and how he obtains the Millennium Falcon and meets Chewie and somehow does the castle run in 12 parsecs even though it's distance and not time, and maybe that gets explained. I don't know.
I don't care for prequels.
It's like everything is a spin-off of something. Like if it's remotely successful, it's like, oh, it's a spin-off. You're getting a show and you're getting a show and you're getting a movie and you get a movie. That's like Oprah.
Yeah. Well, and now the thing is, people are already trying to hypothesize who young Han Solo is going to be. Of course,
because it's the internet and fanboys go crazy with this stuff. And I can't wait to see who they announce, because I'm just gonna laugh at all the comments that people make. Like that's my entertainment. I'm like, really? You're riled up about that? Oof.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think that one's not due out for quite a few years. So.
I mean, shouldn't they at least wait until Star Wars comes out to say, you know what, this is successful enough. Now.
You gotta get the phases. Marvel's set a precedent with their phases, and now Disney's doing the same with Star Wars.
Freaking Marvel, man! It's
all under the same umbrella.
Yep. It's like, really, guys? You really had to go and set it up? Like, you couldn't just put out superhero movies and just, done whatever. Like, you had to actually make them enjoyable. You actually had to, like, come on.
Yeah, but Anna, you know what the real question is? What are we going to do this fall, or specifically, what are George R.R. Martin and HBO going to do this fall? Because we're at a crossroads.
Good Lord.
We're at a crossroads. Let's switch gears from movies to television, because, it is the Tubecast. We do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So even though it's over, it's like, what do you think they're going to do? We're out of books.
Well, there's rumors that he'll be releasing the next book early 2016.
But that's just...
Which will be a month or two before the show airs.
I mean,
That's what I figured. And then they can just use the sixth book for like 2 seasons, and then... I mean,
because originally they were going to do 7 seasons because there's going to be 7 books. Now there's rumors of an 8th season, even though there's still supposedly only 7 books. So yeah, they might split one book into 2 seasons.
Why?
I don't know. My secret hope is that what happened with books 4 and 5 happened with books 6 and 7. Where he just wrote so much, the publishers were like, "We're cutting this in half. We're not releasing."
There should be.
I know, but
a rule.
I'm dreaming.
Like, there should be a rule that if you're gonna make a show or a movie of anything in print, it should have already been ended. I mean, comic books, of course, is like, do they ever end? Like.
Well, here's the thing. Keith and I touched base on this a little bit on the last Tubecast, because like I said earlier, we recorded that right after the season finale of Game of Thrones. It's just the path that the show took and the path that the books take are different, especially this past season were completely different. It's basically 2 stories it's basically two paths telling the same story. Like the ending is going to be the same. It's just how you get there is going to be different. You know, George R. R. Martin's still using MapQuest and HBO's using Google Maps instead. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to take it two different routes. But I got to the point in this season where I was just like, all right, I'm just going to watch this as a TV show as a completely different telling than the book. When it first started to really veer off track, I was like pissed. I was like, oh, this is like so annoying. Why are they doing this? That doesn't happen in the books. Why are they? It doesn't make sense. Blah blah blah.
Angry fanboy.
Yeah, rabble.
That's how I get when I watch The Walking Dead and like something happens. I'm like, but why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, but I like I said, I just accepted the fact that it was a different way to tell the same story. So I'm at peace with it, and you know, as long as the show continues to be entertaining, which you know, why wouldn't it be? You know, and I'll read the book again when it comes out. Definitely, I'm gonna grab that as soon as I can. But
I just
had to take a step back and be like, relax. Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy the hardcover because I'm not gonna wait 4 or 6 months for the paperback to come out.
You're gonna have to pre-order that shit on Amazon.
I know.
Or
Amazon Prime Day.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pre-order it, like lock it in, because.
Thanks a lot, George.
For real, he's created fiends out of millions of people. Like, gimme. It's like,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
you could say it with Harry Potter too.
Oh yeah, I remember I was working at Borders when one of the Harry Potters came out, and I was like, holy shit, I did not even know a book about a boy wizard was that popular. But man,
now I've never read Harry Potter. I've never seen Harry Potter. So
that's a shame.
Did the books always come out before the movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, the 7th.
And I mean, granted, it's a movie, so it's not like a TV show where it's coming out every year. There's time in between for a new book to release, and then they film while she's writing a new book. And...
Yeah, I think with the last two books came out when they were still putting out movies. I don't know. It's been so long that I don't remember, but I think there was a point where it was either like the second to last movie came out, and then the Deathly Hallows came out. But I mean, I don't even think they had started filming the last movie. But then Harry Potter started the trend of splitting the last book into 2 movies.
Ugh. Yeah, like Hunger Games is doing. That's so dumb.
Like, I mean, okay, I read the books, and yes, Mockingjay had so much packed into that final book that it was kind of tough to get through, but I'm like, it really wasn't enough to warrant 2 movies.
No, that second movie's gonna suck.
Well, no, I don't think the finale is gonna suck. I think the part 1.
Oh yeah,
sucked.
I mean, part 1 was.
Yeah, that one I was just like.
It was such an unnecessary build-up. I mean, how 1 ended was like, about time. Like, this is the moment I was waiting for. And I remember reading that part in the book, and it was like, oh my god, what is he doing? Yeah. Like, oh, yeah. So.
Yeah.
It'll just be interesting.
Yeah, those books are like 300 pages. They don't need 2 movies.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how, like, the 2... I mean, there's a few big moments in Mockingjay, but I mean, there was definitely one that I did not expect to happen, that it'll be interesting to see how that whole scene plays out.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
I'm excited to see some of the I'm excited to see some of the creatures that they run into in the books, to see how they're portrayed on the movie.
Yeah. What was it, like, those
I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We won't
I almost
spoil it for
like
anyone,
went there, and then I'm like, oh wait, nope. Stay.
Yeah. Some underground dwelling creatures.
Doodads.
Yeah.
Doodads.
Those things sounded creepy.
So since Game of Thrones is over, what are you watching?
True Detective.
I haven't watched that yet.
Have you seen the first season?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, not that the first season and second season are related in any way, shape, or form, but it's good. This season, there's a lot more stars in it than last season. There was only there was Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. This year you have Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell, and Taylor Kitsch, and I mean I think they're all doing a fantastic job. But it's a lot of stories and backgrounds to keep in check in an 8-episode season. But this last episode was the last 15 minutes of it were phenomenal, intense.
Yeah.
But I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Yeah. I haven't really been watching anything. I mean, I've been watching reruns of shows on Netflix, but yeah.
That's what
Like
Netflix
what?
is for.
I feel kind of ashamed. I mean, I shouldn't feel ashamed to admit it. I mean, I never watched the show when it came out, but I'm watching Gilmore Girls. It's really not a bad show. And
is that weird to watch in a binge, or is it not like?
It's.
Well, I guess it's kind of like the episodes don't really tail end to each other.
I mean, it's not, because I watched like maybe 2 or 3. I'm not really binge watching. Like, I watched Orange is the New Black, and that I binge watched, and that was good. But with something older like that, I mean, it's sometimes like if the episode it's not hooking me in, then I'm just like, I'll just start doing something else. But
yeah.
But I mean, I'm watching it, and it's just crazy to see like the amount of like people who were on that show. Like Melissa McCarthy is on the show, and she's just as funny on the show as she is now. Like nothing has changed with her. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Was that like a CW show?
It was on the WB. Yeah.
WB, okay.
Yeah, but I never watched it when it was out. And whatchamacallit, what's his name from Heroes was on there too. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I recognize him. And then Jared Padalecki was on the show, but I think they kind of wrote his character off, because that's just like around the time that House of Wax came out, and then he kind of went off and did Supernatural, which is like still on the air. But I don't get like 11 seasons of Supernatural. I'm sorry, I don't get it. But anyways,
yeah,
I got into it, but I think by like the 7th season they lost me. I'm like, what is going on at this point? Like, they have literally been to hell and back, have been possessed by demons. Like, what more is there to do at this point? Unless one of them becomes God. I think one of them became an angel at some point, and it's like, is someone gonna become God now? Is that what's gonna happen next? I don't know.
Guess you have to watch and find out.
I don't know. I stopped watching season 10 because I just did not care anymore. I'm like, I can't do this. And I'd never even followed the show for that long. Like, I just started I binge watched it, and then I caught up to watch like season 9 as it was airing, and then by season 10 I was like, I can't do this anymore. So
yeah, I other than True Detective, there aren't really too many shows on. I mean, it's summer, so the shows are a little draw.
The Strain came back, but I still haven't seen the season premiere for season 2.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Bastard Executioner in the fall. That's the one that Kurt Sutter's doing for FX. He did Sons of Anarchy, but that's his new show about
a motorcycle gang in Eastern United States.
Yeah,
but they released their first trailer for that this week or last week, and it looks pretty interesting. So,
what's that about?
It's basically set in kind of like medieval times.
Oh.
And it's basically just about, from what I can gather in the 30-second trailer, is about this guy who is a professional executioner. and he comes to this new kingdom or whatever as the king's executioner, and I'm sure there's lots of shenanigans going on eventually.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was only a 30-second trailer, so they didn't give a whole lot away. But
sounds interesting.
it looks. I mean, if you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, you know, it's like I said, it's Kurt Sutter, the guy who created that, so it should be pretty decent, I would think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be filled with lots and lots of unnecessary drama that makes zero sense. Because that's what Sons of Anarchy felt like at one point. I think there were like 2 seasons that were really, really good, and then it just got really weird, and even the final season was really weird.
It got repetitive too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like every time Jax tried to leave, he was drawn back in.
And it was all because of Gemma. Damn Gemma. Good
Yep.
Lord. Oh. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When, like, it all kind of started to hit the fan, I was like, oh, snap. Yes, you brought me back. Like, this is why I remembered, like, really, really liking the show. I mean, I could care less about, like, the motorcycles and any of that stuff, but just the life that these people lived, and this is what, for the most part, what they're showing on TV is what these people live like. And wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it was violent, but that stuff never really bothers me, but it was just interesting to see how far a mother would go for her son. A grown man, by the way.
Yeah, not a little fun.
No.
I always get distracted because whenever they did scenes inside Jax's old room, I would always gravitate towards looking at the old Sega CD games he had on the bookshelf. And their distinct blue, like, long CD cases, I'd always just look at them and say, yeah, that's Sega CD.
You're like, I know that.
I wonder what he's playing. Maybe there's some Night Trap or maybe Sonic CD, something weird.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lull. So
Yeah.
I don't know that we have a lot of fodder for TV except all the reruns that we're going to catch.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to finish Orange is the New Black. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
But I also don't have cable, so I can't do that. Or internet.
Oh.
Not
Will
yet.
tell. Not yet.
How are you functioning
That's
without it?
It's pretty rough, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like living in the wilderness.
Yeah, it's pretty primitive. Like,
But
I
at
can't
least
do anything. Can't watch anything. I think Netflix is probably the hardest hit, just because when you're trying to wind down after a day,
Yeah.
you just can't put something on and just have it make background noise.
Yeah.
Like, we've had to rely on DVDs and Blu-rays for pretty much all entertainment. Though I have gotten a chance to play Arkham Knight, so
Oh.
that's a plus.
There you go.
Did you beat it?
Yep.
Like,
Yep. There we go.
like 100% beat it, or just
No, I'm working through it.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Okay. Did you beat it at 100%, Nick?
I haven't played it.
No?
I haven't played any of the Arkham games yet.
Wow.
I have the first one of the trilogy, but I haven't given it a solid go yet.
So I'll sit down.
But
Yeah.
it's on my list of games to play.
back
So
We all
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So I'll get to it eventually.
So largely, there's a lot to look forward to this summer in the movie realm, at least. We've been teased with a lot of stuff from San Diego Comic-Con. There's a lot of movies coming out still this summer. Are there any movies in particular that you guys are jazzed about for the remainder of the summer? Even though we've already had Jurassic World, Terminator, Minions, Inside Out, but we've still got Ant-Man, Fantastic Four. Is there another big one coming? I don't remember.
This summer?
Yeah.
I
I think that was largely it.
Yeah, I think that was mostly it.
I mean, this is like a completely non-related superhero movie, but I am kind of psyched to see Trainwreck, because Amy Schumer, I think, is hilarious.
Oh, the Amy Schumer movie.
Yeah.
I think
that does
be
look pretty funny. Yeah.
I'm kind of psyched to see that, because that's like, her humor is my kind of humor. Like, for the most part, like, how she talks is how I talk, but I just tone it down when I'm around people because I don't know how offended they're gonna get by things that I say. So,
You know which one I'm not excited
which
for?
one?
Pixels.
Oh boy, I forgot about that.
I am not interested in that at all.
What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is going to be? I think 5%.
Oh, I guess I'm being
Really?
nice. I'm saying 8%.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be 10 or so.
So for any of the 5 listeners
just...
that are listening, like, if you could just hear like the groans that just came out, like, that just goes to show how excited we actually are about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
It's I don't understand what Adam Sandler's doing anymore.
I don't know.
I think, isn't Kevin James like the president of the United States or something
Yeah,
in that movie?
Kevin James is the president. Josh
he
Gad
can't
is
be a
like
mall cop and be a president at the same time. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Like Kevin James movies haven't done well at all, have they?
Adam
like
Sandler
Mall
movies
Cop.
haven't done well, but they still allow him.
I mean, he's had his time where he was like,
Oh,
he was Billy Madison and had like those movies, but
Yeah, you
like
know what was popular then? Dunkaroos, bagel bites,
snack packs.
snack packs.
But like Kevin James, other than Hitch, like he hasn't had a really great movie.
no.
He's had a great TV show.
Yeah.
That's that's fine, but movies don't seem to be working out too well for him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not going to be spending $11 on that one.
You Chuck and Larry. That wasn't bad. But it wasn't great.
Is that who else?
It was him
in
and
that?
Adam Sandler. They were
They were
the 2 firefighters.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they tried to get benefits or pretend they were gay or okay.
Who was? Oh, Jessica Biel
I didn't
was
see
the
that
girl.
because
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Interesting.
Who has not had a successful movie career either.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Pixels will be the one that'll ignite the fire.
Well, it does have Peter Dinklage in it, so maybe his Game of Thrones stardom will lift the film, but
no,
who knows?
No. Star-studded: Peter Dinklage, Josh Gad, Kevin James, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, Centipede, Galaga, Pong, Asteroids. I really wish I could have sat in on the meeting for that. Guys, what do we need? Well, Adam Sandler's got this pitch about, Adam Sandler, just green light it. Just green light it. What is it? It's video
I've
games?
heard enough.
I don't care.
Do it.
Oh.
I wonder what their budget was for that movie.
Oh, God.
Think of all the licenses.
That's a lot of CG.
The rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how expensive is that
real
stuff
quick.
if it's
$110 million.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the budget?
According to Wikipedia. And we all know how Wikipedia is.
That information could change tomorrow.
110 million. We'll see how it does in it's however
Return.
long it's in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna see that.
Would you rather sit through the Marvel movie marathon of 13 movies or watch Pixels?
Nope, 13
Marvel.
hours.
Okay.
Yep.
No, it's like 36 hours.
36 hours it is then. I will...
Well, yeah, because the one they did before Age of Ultron was like...
Wasn't it 36 or something? Or 24?
No, it was like
28
24.
or something like that.
Yeah, because then they showed Age of Ultron as the last
Good
one.
Lord. That's a lot of movies to sit through, though.
Yeah.
But...
In a theater.
Ooh.
With popcorn and soda.
Ugh.
No showers.
Think of all the BO. All those
people snoring when they fall asleep at 4 a.m.
Oh, Hulk's on. I catch a cat nap.
Yeah, you gotta plan your naps around the movies you're not interested in. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll just nap whenever Pixel's in. Ugh, I don't even want to go. That's the game. I would rather watch the movie Would You Rather, which actually is not a bad horror movie, sort of based on the Saw franchise, in which they play games of Would You Rather the entire movie.
Huh.
Didn't see Pixels.
Huh. Yeah, I never heard.
It's
that
okay.
one.
It's not very star-studded. Anyway, so there's been a lot of comings and goings from San Diego Comic-Con in terms of movies. There's not a lot in terms of television, but we covered a lot of ground today. There's a lot to look forward to in the coming months. We've shared our thoughts. I think we've done quite a lot in 86 minutes. Well done. Well done. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add?
No.
Any lingering thoughts? No. Anna's just ready to go watch some more Gilmore Girls.
Hey.
Get another couple of episodes before she hits the hay.
No, I already watched like 2 of them today, so I'm good.
Yeah, but then you can watch 2
Only
more.
2?
Only 2.
Yeah.
Gotta watch some more Adventures of Rory. I only know that because my first car was named Rory.
The neon.
It was a boy Rory, not a girl Rory. It was a boy. Boy Rory. So anyway, you can find all the things that we've been talking about, such as the trailers, the leaks, the pictures, the set photos, the information on Game of Thrones, all the movies, on our website, entertainmentbuddha.com, because our mission statement is to make you a better geek, one post at a time. And speaking of going to the website, you can also find all of our social media information, which includes, Anna, social media input. Fire away.
Twitter. @Febzilla.
Yeah, what is it? Okay.
Are you not listening to me?
No, I was just... I thought you were just prompting yourself.
No.
She's psyching herself up to get
Twitter.
out her
All
Twitter
right.
info.
I am
Here we
my
go.
own hype woman. I don't need anyone. Yeah, so you can follow me on Twitter @Febzilla.
Okay. Hershey.
Twitter. All right. Twitter is @NickHershey33. So follow me there, and I will keep you up to date with movie news and rumors on a weekly basis.
All right. So there's plenty more on our social media findings and goings on entertainmentbuddha.com. You can follow Entertainment Buddha's Twitter. You can follow all the individual pieces like Anna and Nick Hershey on Twitter and all of our comings and goings, because there's plenty of comings and goings all the time. I'm just rambling now. We're getting to the end of the Tubecast. That's it. We're done. Change the channel. That was my sign off, right? Change the channel? Okay.
Yeah.
Change the channel. That's my sign off.